I'm sure a lot of people have been keeping a close eye on this police chase that we have coming to us from Texas. You can see here we do have one vehicle. It is being pursued by police. This is out of the Dallas, Texas area. Right now, you can't see too many of those officials' cars close behind this vehicle, but it is going at a very fast pace, a very high rate of speed going on here, especially as they were on some of those side roads. We even saw at one point this vehicle going in the wrong direction. Thankfully, there was not very much traffic in that opposite direction. So we do have them back here next to that freeway and highway here. All the information that we have right now is coming from our team there in Texas, as well as from police. The Mesquite Police Department saying it's a pursuit that started around westbound 30 and Interstate Highway 635. It involves a stolen vehicle. So this is just a little bit of what we do know here at this time. Again, this person going to be followed not only by authorities down on the ground, but also in most cases, they will have their chopper up in the air, especially when there gets to be a little bit of distance between some of their officials down on the ground and the suspect that they are going to be after. You can see here coming up to a traffic light, this person going over the center median there, going through, not not hitting anyone there in that intersection. But again, this is going to be something we're going to be closely following here for you on Live Now from Fox. I want to take this time to also remind all of our viewers, you can always keep up to date on our latest news stories, breaking news events. We're always on top of these live breaking news pictures as they happen right here for you. So all you have to do, if you're going out to work, you're going home, you're going to be going on a trip here, since I know it is towards the end of summertime. Find all of those platforms on LiveNowFox.com. Looks like turning into a parking lot here, going over some speed humps, and really our chopper doing a good job keeping up with this vehicle. Looks like it's slowing down in this apartment complex area. Unknown if this is going to be a place, though, where this suspect is familiar from. A lot of times we're on top of these police pursuits, bringing them to you here live, and we know that in many situations, the suspect going to go to an area where they are familiar with. Here, looking like they are coming to a stop, going to make a decision if they're going to be getting out of the car. Now's a good time to remind all of our viewers, viewer discretion is advised, as we don't know how this could unfold here, especially when you're talking about a stolen vehicle, as well as this car going at very high rates of speed. So Dallas Police Air 1 helicopter also providing some aerial support, we're being told as well. And this is going to be something we're going to be staying here on for you, live, raw, unfiltered here on Live Now from Fox. Don't have any chopper audio here at this time of anyone inside the chopper reporting for us. So this is looking like, wow, they are avoiding all of those police cars that were set up here in this parking lot, zipping their way through. They decided not to get out of that vehicle. But again, they're going to now be taking off again. You can see just how many of those officer cars were there just trying to keep up with this suspect. But they do also have a lot of times the police down on the ground are hearing from that air support helicopter talking about exactly which direction this person is heading. Right now, we know that this apartment complex has a lot of speed bumps. They also have a lot of different twists and turns. And so police really going to try to block off this suspect, as well as it looks like possibly maybe someone else who got out of their vehicle. Looks like they tried to pop those tires, throwing out what looked like to be a spike strip. Unknown if it did run over that spike strip. If it was successful, of course, they're going to be trying to use a lot of different tactics to take control of this situation and bring this police chase to a stop. Live Now from Fox on this here for you, live, raw, and unfiltered. All right, so once again here at this time, the information we do have is that this is a stolen vehicle, and this pursuit taking place out of Mesquite, Texas. The police department saying that they do have some air support. So up in the air, they have the Dallas Police Air 1 helicopter. So this is just outside of the Dallas area for those of you who might not know where Mesquite, Texas is. And this suspect we have seen going at some very high rates of speed, driving over the center median at times, and even driving going in the wrong direction, which can be very dangerous, especially if you start to get into some of these later lunch hours. You get into some people getting off of work a little bit early. There could be more traffic that could be starting to come if this pursuit continues to go on for a longer amount of time. So right now, we're up in the air with our chopper. Thanks to our Dallas team, they are giving us these live looks of this police pursuit coming to us from Mesquite, Texas. Again, a criminal suspect inside of this stolen vehicle. Police already trying a number of tactics, including blocking off just some of those different areas that they were seeing this car driving through, trying to use some spike strips. We'll see what other types of tactics these authorities are going to try to use if they catch back up to this vehicle, because again, this person going at such a high rate of speed. We know that there's a number of those officials vehicles following closely behind, but they're not in the picture here of our chopper, so unknown if they might be taking some other alternate routes to try to catch back up, possibly just close behind, but maybe not in our camera view. But of course, we're going to be staying on top of this here for you on Live Now from Vox. Want to remind everyone, viewer discretion advised when it comes to watching these chases. We have unfortunately seen a few times these police chases end in some very horrible ways. So do want to just remind everyone that as we are watching live, raw, and unfiltered. So once again, thank you for being here with us on Live Now from Fox. Christy Larson here, keeping you covered on this live police pursuit that's happening out of the Dallas, Texas area. We are in Mesquite, Texas, where Mesquite Police Department do say that they are involved in this chase with a stolen vehicle. We have been watching this person go at very high rates of speed, so I am going to remind everyone, viewer discretion advised, especially once you start to get into some of these residential areas, some of these side streets that we've been seeing this person go on. Not only could they possibly run into other vehicles, but they could also possibly run into other pedestrians who may not be aware that this chase is happening. A lot of decisions being made here by this driver last minute. You can see they ran over the curb as they decided to turn here on this other side street. Earlier, we saw them in an apartment complex driving around, so that's going to be a concern for a lot of people, is where is this person headed? Are they headed to an area that they're familiar with? As I mentioned, sometimes when we're in these live police pursuits, that's something that they do try to do, is maybe return the vehicle back to their home. But in this case, we know that this is a stolen vehicle, so unlikely that the suspect's going to bring it back to the area where they stole it from. So right now, police and authorities going to be staying on top of this vehicle with the help of some of the choppers up in the air, because we do know at this time, Dallas Police Air Force Air One helicopter is providing aerial support. They're going to be the ones communicating with teams down on the ground exactly which direction this vehicle is headed, especially with all of these twists and turns and different decisions that this vehicle is making. Coming up to yet another intersection, going over once again that median to try to avoid traffic to continue on, and taking some different dramatic turns here. And as we continue to watch, this has been something else that we've noticed, is that sometimes there's more than one person inside of these vehicles. The windows too tinted to tell if there's anyone else inside. So once police are able to catch up with this suspect, they're able to possibly apprehend this person. The first thing they're going to do, depending on how that vehicle comes to a stop, is they're going to be making sure that they have their own coverage. They're going to be giving commands to that driver where they're going to be telling them exactly how to get out of the vehicle, how to come closer to the police before they can take that person into custody and apprehend them. So if there are other people inside of the vehicle, they're going to do the exact same with those other individuals. If there's not anyone else in the vehicle, once they do get the main driver into custody, then they'd go and make sure to clear the vehicle before they would move things along and detaining that car, then taking it into police custody for their rest of their investigation. But here again, we're on some different side surface streets in the Mesquite, Texas area. This is a police pursuit of a criminal suspect. Police saying that this is involving a stolen vehicle. You are watching watching Live Now from Fox, where we are always on top of the latest breaking news and, of course, top stories coming to you from all across the country. Going to continue watching this live chase right here with you on Live Now from Fox. So once again, do want to say thank you to everyone who is watching here with us on Live Now from Fox. You are taking a live look here at this police pursuit. I have not seen these authority vehicles behind this car in quite some time, but it looks like they're coming up to a dead end here, busting through this gate, and unfortunately, not a lot of police behind this person immediately. So it does look like this could be just a gated community that they busted through that fence. Police, though, going to be getting a lot of different directions from that aerial support. Looks like this person getting out of the vehicle, deciding to abandon it as they're going to be jumping over this fence, over some of these sidewalks, and it looks like they are going to be on the run, carrying a backpack, holding up their pants as they're running. And this is going to be yet another time when that aerial support's really going to come into play, helping police track down exactly where this suspect is headed, as they again are on the run now during this pursuit. We know that that vehicle had been stolen. Now this driver giving up. It didn't seem like there was anyone else left inside of that car, and their choppers thankfully going to be staying on top of keeping an eye on exactly where this suspect is going to be headed. Do they know this area? Are they familiar with it? Could they possibly be just heading into a thick, brushy area to try to hide it out until police possibly give up? Of course, they are seeing a lot of that tree coverage right now, so that does make it harder to keep track of exactly where that person's going to be. But as our camera zooms out a little bit, of course, if there's going to be anyone wearing that same like clothing, they're going to be right here on top of it. Looks like he is exiting here out of this area, possibly may have left his bag behind. So that's going to be something police will be looking for a little bit later after they're able to get this suspect back into custody. It looked like also we had a police vehicle pull up on the side of that street area near those driveways where we saw that suspect pop back up. But this is a very, looks like an area that doesn't have too many places for him to run and hide. So hopefully police will be able to apprehend this suspect as safely as possible for both parties involved. This suspect slowing down quite a bit. Looks like he's going to try to hide behind this area, behind an air conditioner in this house. And our chopper really trying to keep a good close eye on this person as well. So again, do want to remind everyone, viewer discretion advised, especially now that this suspect is out of the vehicle. It's unknown. Could they possibly have any weapons on them? Of course, again, we heard from police informing us that this suspect did steal that car. Now they have abandoned that car. They are running on foot, and their chopper up in the air, the Dallas Police Air 1 helicopter, going to be providing detail by detail report down to those on the ground as they're going to be trying to bring this person into custody here on this Monday. Don't forget Live Now from Fox on our social media platforms. You can stay up to date on all of our top stories that are happening all across the country and even around the world, and events like this too. If you haven't subscribed to our pages, our platforms, saved it on your TV channels, you're going to want to do so, because we are always keeping track of these latest breaking news stories. I saw just for a second on that small path another white vehicle pulling up. Looks like police starting to close in here on this area where this suspect is running around, now going back out into some of those main surface streets. But boy, I'm going to guess he's getting pretty tired, especially since you think about how warm it is. It's just past 2 in the afternoon in Texas. You can see police officers not only have their vehicles, but they also have some who are also chasing him down on foot. Looks like there's a little bit of coverage here from this tree, but they could possibly have this suspect down on the ground, and they could be possibly putting him in handcuffs. Our chopper going to try to circle around, get you the best picture as we can And of course, we're going to hope that this did end as safely as possible for those authorities who had been on this chase since earlier here this afternoon. We did hear that this had involved a stolen vehicle. We saw that person abandon the vehicle. They'd been running around for quite a lengthy amount of time here. And now finally, it looks like authorities are going to be able to pick this person up and to bring them into custody. And as I mentioned before, when they first got out of that vehicle, that individual was carrying a bag. It looked like they had dropped that bag at some point. Who knows what was inside of it? That is going to be something that police are going to go back and search that area for, so that they can also put that into their evidence as well. But here we are in Mesquite, Texas. Police again in pursuit of that stolen vehicle. Looks like this finally coming to an end after that suspect had bailed out of their vehicle, had ran on foot, and the officers catching up with them here on these side residential streets, able to bring him into custody. And thankfully, looks like these officers not injured during this investigation, during this chase. Live now from Fox, going to step away for a 2-minute break. If we get more updates here on this breaking news scene, we'll try to bring them to you here. But we're going to continue to give you more of those top stories, breaking news, and events from all across the country and around the world right here after we return from this 2-minute break. We'll see you right back here in a moment.